Good morning, K1s. Welcome back to the virtual library. Let's see what book you clicked on this time. You clicked on a very interesting story. It's called The Boy Who Cried Wolf by Jess Stockham. Now, I remember my mummy and daddy reading this to me when I was a little girl. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Once there was a small boy who looked after the village sheep up in the summer pasture, even though he didn't always feel like it. So here is the boy just here. Here are the sheep, and every day he has to take them all the way to the top of the hill up here and look after them. Every day, though, he would say, "Do I have to?" "Yes, otherwise the wolf will get the sheep," said the villagers. "You're the best shepherd we have. We can't trust anyone else as much as we trust you." So off he would go, whereas the other children got to play. The boy went and took the sheep up to the hill. "It's not fair," said the boy. "I want to stay and play with my friends here in the village. There's nothing to do up in the mountains. It's so boring." "Take a book," said the villagers, "or your flute or a paintbrush." "They're all boring too," whined the boy as he set off up the hill behind the sheep. Off he goes. See? There he's going up the hill to take the sheep up here to keep them safe because apparently there is a wolf that visits. The days were long and the boy had nothing to do apart from watching the sheep. "I wish I'd brought some books," he thought, "or my flute." He tried to play tag with the rabbits, but they were too quick for him. You see here, he's playing tag. He tried to climb with the goats, but they were too nimble. He tried to talk to the sheep, but they were too busy eating the nice summer grass. One morning, the boy looked down the valley and heard the distant laughter of the other children as they played on the village green. "I'm so lonely," he thought. "If only I could make them all come up here. Suppose I pretended a wolf was after the sheep. That would make them come." Without further ado, the boy got to his feet and shouted at the top of his voice, "There's a wolf! Wolf! Wolf!" There he is. He's shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" He watched with glee as the villagers and their children ran from their houses and up the steep and rocky slope towards him. They finally arrived, panting and dripping with sweat. "Are you all right?" they asked. "What happened to the wolf?" "I'm fine," answered the boy, grinning. "I shouted and it ran away." "Might come back," they replied. "We'll stay for a while to make sure everything is safe." The boy had a lovely time playing with his friends in the sun, but eventually they all went home. Was there really a wolf? No, he tricked them. It seemed even quieter the rest of the day. The boy was very, very bored. He climbed a tree. He juggled with some pebbles. He threw sticks in the stream, and he made a daisy chain. Before long, however, he could bear it no longer. He called down to the village at the top of his voice and shouted again, "Wolf! Wolf! Help! Help! There's a huge wolf! Help!" Is there really a wolf? No. This time, some of the villagers stayed at home. Those who ran up the slopes were hot and cross. "Where's the wolf?" they asked. "Are you sure you saw one? Why don't the sheep look more frightened? Are you playing tricks on us?" This time they did not stay long. As soon as they were satisfied there was no wolf, they started back down the hill, grumbling and suspicious. They checked everywhere, couldn't see any wolves. The next day the sheep were unsettled, running here and there, bleating noisily. The boy stared across the pasture, trying to see what was wrong. "Can you see what might be wrong?" All of a sudden, the hairs on the back of his neck stood up. There was a wolf. A real one. It was creeping towards the sheep from the other side of the pasture. "Quickly, quickly," the boy ran to the edge of the cliff and shouted to the villagers as loudly as he could. "Wolf, wolf," he helped. "A real one this time. Help, help." But no one came. Some of the villagers turned to look up the hill, then shook their heads and went back on with their jobs. The children carried on playing, and the boy shouted again and again, but after a while, no one even turned to look back. The boy rescued a tiny lamb from the wolf's jaws. He tried to frighten the beast away, but it was too big and too fierce. The sheep took to their heels and ran up the hill and down the hill. Only then did the wolf slink back into the woods. Exhausted and tearful, the boy climbed down the pastures and trudged miserably back into the village, carrying the baby lamb. There was a wolf, he said, between crying, and it scared all the sheep so they ran away. This little lamb is all I have left. Please believe me, I'm telling the truth this time. The villagers took pity on the boy. We thought you were playing tricks on us again, they said. Never mind, we'll help you go round up the sheep in the morning. But tell the truth in future, they added, or no one will trust you ever again. So it's very important to tell the truth. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Thanks for listening, K1s. See you again soon in the virtual library. Bye bye.